guys. So I just want to share, I shared a similar situation like this about, exclusion of Black people and as other from certain situations and just people in general, but me in general, or me in particular, being in so many different categories, being Black, being a woman, being transgender. But I wanted to share what happened today. I think I'm just going to kind of like on a daily basis when these things happen, since they happen so often, make use of them by, putting them out there so that people can, benefit from the recanting of my stories. When it comes to them relating to what I'm going through, when it comes to them understanding better what they're experiencing, this, that, and the third. So, again, I take Chinese. I'm in Chinese too. And it's one of the languages I now sing in. And, 我整个中文. I think I said that right. But I might be off on some grammar. Still getting it together. But, what do you call it? I was in my Chinese class earlier today, and just another situation of people like making you feel unwelcome in a space. The teacher asked us if we recognized the band on the screen, and I, was like, oh, wait, is it BTS or something? Because they look like BTS. Because, a lot of these bands are just like, trying to look like little kids, same haircuts, trying to look fly, and, it's pretty much the same thing. So I don't know if it was because I said BTS and that's not a Chinese band, or and this guy was just assuming that she would show us a Chinese band, or what the situation was. But it seemed like he was initially everyone's reaction was, as to why he responded so ridiculously to what my suggestion was. Like, one girl next to him, the only other Black girl in the class, was like, what, do you know them personally? Or do you have a connection or something? Like, are you a fan? That's what she asked. She's like, what, are you a fan? And because he was like, as soon as I said, and this is some like, white native dude in the back. He's like white Native American or white and Latino or just Latino or something like that. Well, even if he's Latino, he's white. But anyway, what do you call it? He's white passing in this case. But, and just white, because, a lot of people who are Latino can also be white, but just like they can be Black. But it was just, yet again, another situation of, people just like being really exclusionary and very like, ridiculously disrespectful and rude for no reason. Like, just no reason. Hoity-toity, basically. Another instance is when I was leaving this class where I was, it was my policing class, one of my majors, criminology and criminal justice class. And this just happened. I just got back 30 minutes ago or so. And I went in the elevator to go down, and we stopped at the second floor, and these Black women got on, but I didn't know they were Latin. So they were Latina, or at least one of them was, because she said something in Spanish, and I started speaking with her in Spanish, and we both sound like two Spanish speaking Black chicks in the elevator, so it was really cool. And these, of course, nobody else in the elevator knew Spanish, in particular these white chicks who were in the corner to my right, so behind her and to the right of me. And they were quiet the whole time that interaction took place until we left out of the elevator. And when we start filing out of the elevator, that's when they start giggling, hee hee ha ha. And I make my way around the corner, and they just happen to be following me, of course. And they're hee hee ha ha behind me. And that was funny, and this, that, and the third. Now, what I said was, solo entiendes pequeñas que se considera del idioma español, tratando de empezar a cantar en español. So I was letting her know I don't really speak, more than just quips and phrases. I don't understand as much outside of quips and phrases, really, but I am trying to teach myself how to sing in Spanish, is basically what I just said. And It was very, I didn't hiccup like I just did a second ago when I tried to do it here. It was very smooth, very easy. It came out very fluent. I sing in Spanish. So, come on now. Like, I'm going to sound like a natural in a lot of ways. So, it wasn't because I messed up or I said something wrong or I stumbled over what I was saying, because I didn't. It's literally just because here were two Black women being, awesome and amazing, speaking in multiple languages in the elevator while you all are trying to keep up with one of them. And it's just funny because it's like people don't have the capacity to retain that, yes, comprehend that, yes, people who look like me are able to, and fall into the demographics I fall into, are able to converse with people in other languages. Yes, that does happen. We also can sing in other languages, some of us. It does happen. I know it's very shocking to you. It's just really weird to me because it's like we should all be understanding of the fact that we're all in this space for a reason. But Black people have to continuously prove ourselves every single day. And especially if you are like me, you really have to prove yourself every day. And it don't matter, because at the end of the day, you're still going to have people who actively, I could literally solve a 500 digit equation, math problem in 2 seconds, 2 nanoseconds. And people would still look at me and disrespect me and treat me like I don't know anything, because it's the way that they feel comfortable. They feel comfortable making it themselves believe and living in this belief that, even though they actually know it's not the case, that I don't know anything. And there's that and the third, and that, people who look like me and fall into my demographics can't possibly be intelligent. So no matter what we do, they continue to do this. A lot of the time it's because they're jealous. Other times it's because of what I just explained, and it's how they make sense of the world. So the only way that they can continue to function properly is, and not lose their shit, is by, no matter what I do, acting as if I'm dumb. And then on top of that, they throw in, and or in replacement of that, sometimes they'll throw in, oh, okay, well, we're gonna, the ridicule and the taunting and the hazing. So, it is what it is. It usually does not get to me because I just keep it pushing. No matter what I do, I just usually keep it pushing. But it's the thing that gets to me is the fact that I have to deal with it every day. And I can't respond the way that I would normally respond. Because if I were able to respond the way I would normally respond, it wouldn't happen. It wouldn't continue to happen. Because once somebody did it, they would learn what my reaction is, and they wouldn't want that kind of reaction anymore. So then we'd move on. But I can't be going off on people like that, because that'll put me in the same type of light and shoes that I was in when I was in my younger years, when I was consistently pegged as a problem child because I was getting into it with everybody, because I didn't take that shit, and I would go off on your ass in your face in front of anybody. But now I understand that I have to have decorum even when other people don't, even though they will still be treated on the same level as me, showing that they don't have decorum while I prove that I do, because I don't get the opportunity with that white privilege to not have decorum in an instance and then be completely forgiven for that 2 days later, 2 minutes, 2 seconds later. So I just wanted to share that with you guys, because this type of stuff really does annoy me. It gets on my fucking nerves. And if it does this to me, I can only imagine what it does to other people who have even less of a capacity for this than I do. But this is the type of shit that people talk about when they say we're pushed out of white spaces, and why Black people don't go to college, and a lot of the time, and this, that, and the third. This is why. Because you go to these spaces and then they literally try to push you out of these spaces, actively try to exclude you from these spaces.